Hey guys, real quick. I know I said at the end of the last episode that this was going to be a Rodney Team Alpha episode. Now you're just like, what's this? This doesn't say Rodney Team Alpha. It in fact says Drop Talks. Well, yeah, about that. So, this is Drop Talks. This is going to be our new segment for kind of like after big battles or like and stuff like that we are kind of going to do as like a nice little cool down from like big things that just happened. But there are some audio problems and some whoopsies that may have happened with the Rodney Team Alpha episode, and there might be a re-record that we have to schedule. Oh no, whoops. Things happen sometimes. So sorry about that, but here's this, and we hope you like it. Again, sorry. The next episode will be October 21st. Okay, bye.
Hi everybody, it's your favorite girl Elena here to play your favorite water witch, Remy.
Hi guys, my name is Kyle, I play Oswald.
Hi, I'm Brytton, and I play Michael.
Hi, I'm Allie, I play River, and I will also be your game goddess. Let's get this show started. Hi everybody. You just heard the intro of the characters that we play, because I'm not changing that. However, we are not playing those characters today. We are just playing ourselves as people. We are our own person. We're just going to do like a quick like roundup of, I guess I've been Game Goddess for, was it over a year now?
Yeah,
It's over a year.
It's been over a year. I think last year around this time we were vetting to see who was going to be our next character, and I think at this time we were going through like our last few people.
Hi, Brytton. We got
Yeah, we
Brytton.
got Brit, and then also we have Kev because we couldn't decide between the two.
Kev is amazing. I'm so happy we have Kev.
Amazing. I really wish, Kevin, if you're listening, I really wish that you would stop GMing so that you can be with us full time.
He's always doing something.
I know. I love Kevin so much. I just love.
Well, that was the reason. I was just
Kev.
like, you're going to be a character that we literally bring in every so often because you have so much that's going on, and we have so much that's going on. Do you want to know who could commit to this full time, Brytton?
I love Kev so much. I want to sit here and I want to talk for 5. I don't know how long this is going to be about our favorite people. Obviously, everyone knows that Kevin is one of my favorites.
Let's talk about who our favorite guests are. I'm kidding. Let's not do that. We are just
okay. Other than Kevin, because even though I would love for Kevin to count, I feel like we shouldn't have Kevin count because he's on so often. I really loved Mappy coming in.
Mappy and Amber. I'm planning on Mappy and Amber coming back together in an episode. I kind of figured because they're roommates right now, and I need them to both come in.
Not in real life.
No, they're not real life. Roommates.
I was sitting there for a second and I was like, no. But then, but yeah, I love Mappy. I thought Mappy was one of my favorite ones just because like I interacted with them so much on Twitter, and then just hearing his voice, and I was like, oh, and now I follow him on TikTok, and just the DM tips of the day are so good.
They really are.
No, I really liked how he was just like, don't feel bad, bribe your DM, and he was just like, sometimes this magically powerful sword is just the cost of 2 buffalo chicken pizzas.
Yeah, honestly, like it's some of my favorite things, and the first one that I got introduced to via Mappy was him posting his first TikTok video, and it was him just saying, is this how I TikTok? Is this a thing? And I was like, yes. It's like, yes, it is. Oh my God. That video legit had me in tears. I was crying so hard. I was full feral. Okay, but that's me. Who? I'm gonna pass the stick. Who wants the stick?
I have to think about it more.
I know,
You have
that's
to
what
think
I
about
am
it
too. I'm
more.
like,
I mean, I can say
because I've only
good-
I think, how many guests have I played with on here? 3?
Technically, okay, the secret behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Brytton actually was in the recording area for like a lot of the river arc because we already picked Brytton, and I was just like, you need to know what's going on, so you're staying in here. You could do other things, just listening to this bullshit.
Yeah, because I think we had Kevin on first, and then we had Britt. I think that was the order in which we did the
And then we
thing.
had Matthew.
And then we had Matthew. I love
Brytton
Matthew
couldn't
too.
stay for Matthew because Brytton was doing something that day. And I said, Brytton, as much as I would love for you to be on here, if you exit while we are recording, it's going to fuck up the recording. And you went, oh, okay, bye.
I remember that. I was like, yeah. All right. Well, I'm off to do this then. I think I was going fishing that day.
Probably. But I also love Matt. I love that Matt, because Matt wasn't, if you're listening, Matt wasn't trying to get onto Dice Drop. He was a filler in because someone else schedule conflicts and all that stuff, and it just didn't work out. And we were like, well, we still need someone to like come in. So like Matthew.
Yeah, because at that point I already mentioned it. At that point, I already fucking mentioned it, and I was just like, Matthew, Matthew, I need you. Come here.
Yeah. It was like what? It was like a 24 hour, like I think less than a 24 hours notice, and you were like, Matthew, we need you. We need someone to fill in this role.
It was a week's notice. It was at least a week.
To me, it's like in my head, it sounded like it was like we need someone real quick. Like, Matthew, are you available?
Please say yes. Please say yes.
A week for a TTRPG thing isn't a long time, so it might as well have been 24 hours, to be honest, because that was fun. My God.
That was really fun. That was so much fun.
I think my favorite like little stint of guests was when we were trying to like find a new player, and just everybody that came on, obviously including Britt. Like, it was just so fun having everybody come on and then just like do their own thing, basically.
Mm-hmm. I felt like that was the best way to do stuff, just like for interviews. And because I wasn't going to have us pick someone really without playing with them, even though we kind of already picked Brytton without playing with him. But because that's true, that is what happened. Yeah. You made us like you too much. That's on you.
I'm so sorry.
I mean,
I don't know how to handle that.
Because we had Kevin's interview first, and I was like, guys, I fucking love Kevin. Like, I was a diehard, like, fan of Kevin from the beginning. And then after we had your interview, Britt, I was like, fucking hell, man. Like,
I think we had Kevin and Britt on the same day, and then the next day we had Tom, and then the day after that we had Mitch from Necrobiotic, and Mitch,
I think
unfortunately,
Tom was last. I think Tom was last, and Mitch was third, because I was also sitting there, and I just love people, guys. I was like, oh my God, Mitch is also really cool.
Mitch is really cool. We actually ended up talking to Mitch for, I think, almost 3 hours. I ordered a fucking pizza, and it got here in the time that we were still talking, and I finished it.
Mitch was so fun.
The only reason Mitch did not get an episode is because, I don't know if y'all noticed, Mitch is fucking busy.
Mitch is fucking pumping shit out. Mitch is a powerhouse.
Yeah, Mitch is fucking awesome, but Mitch was too busy, and we really needed somebody that would be prepared and excited to do it. And the person that seemed, and Brytton is also closer in our age range too, so I feel like that was another reason why we definitely like moved more toward Brytton when it came to picking. Hi, Brytton, we're talking about you in front of you.
I know.
How dare.
It's weird. Like, what am I supposed to say?
That you're awesome. Fucking deal with it.
Mitch, I hope you're having fun at Gen Con.
I hope you're no longer at Gen Con. You're probably not listening to this, but we hope you had fun.
I don't care. I hope you're having fun at Gen Con, showing off all your cool things.
All the crazy things that he's put out.
Listen, people think I'm always a fucking feral asshole, but to be real, I am just a tiny little e-girl, like, just silently giving
With
love
big
to
old
everybody
bitties.
with big old bitties. And I'm always like, I always do shit like that. Like there are times where like I saw like, what is it? When we were in like one of those chat thingies and then like Ankh popped in and I was like, hi Ankh, I love you. Oh my God, I hate myself.
Oh, that actually reminds me. Yesterday I had a passenger, I don't know how old she was, but like literally spitting image of Elena. And
oh God. Was it a skinwalker?
Same facial structures, like glasses, you know, like
oh my God.
I would assume I don't even know how tall you are. Really.
You found Elena's doppelganger? That's odd.
I did.
Yeah. Well, if we're
100%
taller than you, I think Kyle, am I taller than you? I know we've only met like one time in person.
I'm 5'7". So.
Okay, so then yeah, I'm like right there. So if I was like almost your height, because I'm like 5'6".
Okay.
Then like if roughly around your height, then maybe it might be a fucking doppelganger. You should have killed that person.
She was with like some girl, and I don't know if they were dating, but they might have been.
Oh my God, my doppelganger's even doing better than me. Okay, listen. As much as
that, it wasn't only like physical appearance too. Like she was just like the same amount of energy and like the same level of dits. I was like, this is fucking.
Same level of dits.
This is fucking Zoe. I was like, this is fucking right here.
Listen, I really amp up my dits factor a lot because I learned at a very young age, people don't like other smart people. So I had to really learn how to be a ditz. And I think it just became so ingrained in my personality. It's just how I am now.
No, but the thing is, she was also like smart because she kept like saying smart person things, but like in a ditzy way, you know?
Yeah, that's definitely me.
I was like, what is doing in my car?
You should have texted me and be like, where are you right now?
I almost did, but I was like, yesterday was a really busy day and I got stuck downtown for like a couple, maybe like 3 hours.
What the fuck would you have done if I said Seattle?
I would have been like, well, you know it's me. Why didn't you say anything?
You were in my car, you asshole.
It has my picture on the Lyft app. What the fuck? You're trying to hide because you're out here with a girl and not Will?
That would be something I would do, to be honest. Okay, listen, as much as I love Will and I have discussed in depth, I have told him, I was like, listen, if anything were to ever happen to you, because at this point, the only way you're leaving this relationship is if you're dead.
Damn.
I'm straight up going to go through so many girls. And he's like, just take a video and like come to my gravesite and just play the video out in the graveyard. And I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Oh my God.
Get yourself a supportive husband like I do, even though he's not my husband.
Yeah.
He was supposed to propose, but he didn't.
He was supposed to. That's a funny story. That's not even true.
I also enjoyed, like, back to the conversation about guests.
Our favorite people.
Yeah. I also enjoyed Amber. Like,
yeah, Amber was
a fun
fun.
person.
Amber's been my I think Amber's been my favorite guest for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the energy she brings
I'm definitely excited.
Ridiculous.
I'm definitely excited to have both Mappy and Amber in the same episode. Because I feel like I'm like preparing myself for that amount of chaos.
Oh my God, yeah. I need to make sure I'm full feral at that point.
I don't think it would be hard. You match energy.
I do. I really do. Like, I thought it was just so funny at how quick me and Mappy like came up with a backstory to how our characters interacted with each other. Me and Mappy are probably like, he's more dad feral energy, and I'm I'm more child feral energy.
No, Mappy straight up goes, Allie, I'm your uncle. And then I said something on Twitter one day where I was just like, Mappy's my uncle. And then everyone thought he was my real uncle. And now a lot of people still think he is my real uncle. And we are not saying anything. So this is more of a question. Actually, Brytton might be able to answer this too, because you listened to Dice Drop before you were actually on. How am I doing as the game goddess?
Yes,
critique me.
As someone who is impartial.
Critique me.
Impartial? What are you talking about? Impartial?
As in, like, you were a listener.
You were a listener.
Okay.
You were a person who listened to the James era and the Allie era.
Okay, so your GMing style is freaking leagues above James's, first off.
Oh.
Because I hate railroading. It's fucking stupid and it's irritating as shit. And that's all that he would ever do.
I feel like I railroad you sometimes, but it's only because I'm just like,
it's like you only do it when you actually like have to, you know, like
it's
like to get us off of our shit. Like, okay, guys, now we're gonna go and do the thing. Whereas James, it was, I'm gonna make all of your characters do things that you're not gonna want to do.
I guarantee
you can't say anything about it.
I guarantee you, with BDSM B&B, Air BDSM B&B.
Oh, that would not have been a thing.
No. We would have been like, oh yeah, there's a BDSM dungeon in every single Airbnb that we do. He would have been like, that's not canon.
No. And he definitely, like, I'm just going to say this out loud. And I don't want people to be like, oh my God, he was a homophobe. I guarantee you he would not have been interested in Remy, like, exploring like her sexuality a little bit more, because I told him, I was like, if you bring Izzy into this, I guarantee you Remy's endgame is going to be Izzy. Like, because I told him in my backstory, I was like, Izzy was in love with Remy and never shared her feelings, but Remy kind of knew, but didn't want to fuck up their friendship. But now you're the kind of DM who's like actually letting their characters have character development and explore things. I love the fact that you gave me Ruby Rose. So
exactly.
But like,
when I asked you guys like what you're attracted to, weaknesses, not weaknesses, here's the thing. I already knew what Kyle was attracted to, so creating shade in the image of an e-girl with blue hair was not hard for me to grab Kyle with.
Especially because that was already there. Like, the foundation was already there.
Yeah, she just needed the blue hair, and I was just like, done.
Pretty much.
Yeah, there's a reason. I remember speaking to Elena specifically about it, and I didn't even have to ask Brytton really what he was attracted to, because I was just like, all right, his wife has red hair and she's small and fiery and has the same birthday as me. I can do this. I can work with this. And then I immediately worked with it, and you were like, God damn it.
Yeah, and so like the thing is that I love how it doesn't feel as like, it doesn't feel like we're all like, I feel like people who listen to it can tell that we're not on eggshells anymore, that we feel more loose, we like, I know that I certainly come in every time that we like record and I'm just like, I'm fucking ready to go, man. I'm excited. And before, like, I told Allie, I was telling her, I was like, man, if you wouldn't have taken over, I probably would have ended up quitting as soon as I had like a baby or something, because James made it so hard to come in every day, and it shouldn't feel like that when you want to come in and you want to do something.
No, this is supposed to be a fun environment, not something that you're like dreading to come into.
Exactly.
I think part of it too was like the schedule that James had us on was like pretty.
Oh my God, that was rough. So rough.
So that was one thing. Brytton, you didn't get to go through that scheduling era. I don't know if you heard when we were actually recording the like first like 40-ish episodes of Dice Drop. It was Tuesday nights after all of us got done with work.
It was Tuesdays at 7:00.
Nope. Fuck that. I'm good.
At 7:00. And every single time it would be like 10:00. I'm like, James, I need to go to bed. I have to get up in the morning. And he's like, well, we haven't gotten through everything I need to get done. And I'm just like, then we can just do it again and we can finish it next week. It doesn't have to be all in the same episode, bro. And I was like, please.
I would be the first one out of the fucking call.
I'm gonna be honest. cut off last week's episode, the 74 with Kev. I cut that one off because you guys were supposed to fully go in there and meet Nyx, who was the one of the other like stronger Dreamweavers. But that was just like, this is already at an hour 30. I'm gonna cut this off, and you guys will come back in September and deal with it.
Exactly. Like, it doesn't have to be something that, and this is what I love about Allie. She's like, okay, this is my vague game plan. If we get to where we are, great. Where I want to send, great. If we don't, I can easily pick this up again next week. Like, it doesn't have, or not next week, because we don't record every week, but
anymore. Thank God.
Like the next time that we play, thank God that we have a day. And the reason why we couldn't do it on the weekends is because James said, I quote unquote have things to do. And I was just like, but none of us go to church. I mean, I'm spiritual, but I don't regularly attend church. Why can't we just do it on like Sundays? Because people do things on Saturdays. And he's like, no, I have things to do. And all of us were like, but if we do it at like on Sundays at like, at like 5.
So he was I will say he did work in retail. I am giving James he did work in retail. But here's the thing with managers in retail. There's more managers, especially in Walmart. You can request Sundays off and it'd be fine.
I have a friend who I used to work with at the bookstore. He became the manager. And before, like, even when he first started working there, he said, I need to have Sundays off so that I can go to church and I have things with my family that I do on Sundays. And our manager was like, okay, never scheduled him on Sundays. And then when he became manager, he told, like, an assistant manager, he told, like, that manager, like, listen, again, like, I know that I'm supposed to be working more and all this other stuff. I have to have that hard boundary of I'm not working on Sundays. And the manager again was like, okay, that's fine. I don't care. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, it's that easy.
Yeah, well.
That easy.
And let's say an emergency happened. Then we don't record that week. It's not that hard. And so
oh my God,
there was another reason. Like, there was like, this is going to sound, we fired James. No, James left. But
we fired James.
James didn't leave. He quit.
That's true.
We fired him.
we quiet quit James.
Yeah, I feel like we collectively just weren't like happy enough with him. So like he felt the vibe and he was just like, yeah, I'm out of here.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give Allie an actual panic attack, but I'm gonna leave.
No,
the
I remember that.
All right, I'm out. I remember that. I remember us all. Like,
here's the thing. There's a difference between, hey, I'm gonna record one more episode and say my goodbyes and like make sure Allie is prepared, and then just like tossing me into it, saying I'm leaving and not coming back. See ya. And I'm just like, you didn't even put in your 2 weeks. Like you.
But his thing is, I think it was. I don't even know if this is going to go into the episode.
Well, everything in here, it's going to be very loosely edited. I do not care.
I think with him, it was the fact that we weren't gaining enough traction. He wanted to be Matt Mercer level famous. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, yeah, but you don't get Matt Mercer level famous if you are constantly railroading your characters, making your players feel like shit every time that they come in and they don't want to record with you anymore. And then having, like, I'm going to say, this sounds horrible, but very boring story points. Like,
yeah, he wasn't doing a lot to like actually keep the story interesting for me.
It wasn't interesting. Like now there's like the whole like obviously like this is gonna I don't know when this is gonna come out, so I don't know if this is gonna be a spoiler or not. If not, Allie, just leave out.
If it's something that already happened, it's not a spoiler.
Okay, well, this will be really funny if I just bleep 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 bleep. When we finished our big battle with Astoria, and then the secret thing that happened at the end, I was like, Allie, no, what the fuck? I was all over that shit. I was like, ooh, this is gonna be fun.
I mean, you can just say it's not going to be a secret. Like, this is literally after the Astoria battle.
Okay, this is going to be after the Astoria battle because we haven't really done anything after that.
No, because Allie's brain, because people keep fucking around and finding out, and my brain is pudding.
But, like, the whole, like, the fact that River and Remy are now, like, the heiresses to the fucking fortune of Astoria Technologies, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And then now we're getting into Kyle's story arc. Allie like told us like, yeah, now it's officially time for Kyle's story arc to happen. And I'm like, I've been telling Allie that I've been waiting for the story arc for so long because I feel like it's going to be the best one. I don't know why, but I feel like it's going to be the best one.
And I kind of started alluding to what Kyle's story arc is going to be. And I did that with the very intention of showing off the little peaks of Oswald's uncle in his brain, because I remember at one point when James was still like in the actual game and Oswald went, well, how come you're never in my brain? And he was just like talking that to Peter, and James did the Merry Mysterious, oh, I'm in your brain all the time. And I was just like, shut up. And so I was just like,
that. To be honest with you, I hated that.
And I was just like, okay, but he's not, and it's never shown that he's in anybody's brain. So I was just like, so I'm going to give Kyle a little peek of how that's going to be. But instead of Peter, it's going to be his uncle. And
that was like really good too. Like I got goosebumps when that happened, and I was like, oh shit, like this is like gonna be so good. Like I was so excited.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun.
It's going to be such a fun time.
So I am going to tell you guys right now, and this is going to be for our listeners and for you guys, things are going to start getting a little bit wacky because now we don't have Astoria really to ground things in the actual...
Wacky tobacco?
Yeah, but we're not going into the dreamscape again because we're not going to... Like, if we go into the dreamscape, it'll be very brief. I did not appreciate the dreamscape. I did not like that arc. I think
oh my god, that was the stupidest arc ever.
I feel like everybody does that.
Like I understand that setup, like who Peter is and why Peter's doing what he's doing, but it makes no fucking sense. I'm sorry.
I think the only reason why I enjoyed it was because it was actually like storytelling and it wasn't just us going around doing shit just to do shit.
It wasn't us fighting something every single fucking episode.
That was one of my main... This is turning into shit on James hour, and I don't care.
This slowly, I'm gonna find a way to segue us back. I'm good at this.
Yeah, but I wanted to make it a thing of we don't have to fight everything every episode. I didn't like that dynamic. There was no reason for that dynamic, especially with mutants and masterminds, because I'm going to be honest, guys, the combat with mutants and masterminds, though it's more like theater of the mind and more like cinematic, it's not that spicy. It's not as spicy as just RPing.
Yeah, like, I think he wanted it to be like, again, like, critical role. Like they do tend to fight things almost from what I've seen so far.
But they also have 5-hour episodes.
But again, yeah, they have like 3 to 4 hour episodes that they're streaming, and like literally half of that is RP, and then like the last hour is them fighting something. And like I don't know, man, it's just stupid. But reverting. I'm going to steer us back in a certain direction. Who's your favorite person to interact with that we like in the fan base? Because I know who mine is. Mine's fucking Scarlet, and I love it.
Yep, it's definitely Scarlet.
It's not because Scarlet pays and is a member of the...
No, it's because, so it's not because of that. It's because Scarlet is genuinely such an amazing person.
Agreed.
And Scarlet is so wholesome all the time. And I think Scarlet puts out such good energy all the time. And I feed into that because that's the kind of person that I at least try to be, at least in the Twitterverse. And Scarlet, no matter what, I don't think Scarlet has ever, like, been like, oh my god, I don't like talking with that person just because I don't like them. I think Scarlet, like, as far as I know, Scarlet genuinely likes almost every single person that Scarlet comes across because they're just a nice person. And that's so hard to genuinely find nowadays, is just the kind of person that you want to like have out in the world. And like anytime that I've interacted with Scarlett, they're always an amazing human being, like all the time.
Yeah, this also just real quick. This is a shout for Scarlett. Her Twitter
is the Scarlett Power Hour.
Her Twitter is @I'm also Scarlett, and she actually has a book called Scarlett's Silly Stuff. It's like items for. It's a collection of 10 hilarious magic items for your D&D game. So, like, if that sounds something that anybody listening to this is interested in, definitely go check it out.
Yes.
Absolutely recommend.
Because we like to support our friends here.
I'm trying to think of my favorite person. There's so many.
You can't take Scarlett. I've already claimed
No, I wasn't going to.
Oh, dang it.
I dropped my phone. If I keep that in, I drop my phone.
No, I wasn't going to take Scarlett.
Brit casually starts going through the people that he follows on Twitter.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm doing.
Like,
Maybe.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Honestly, I just think it's like me and Danny always have really good interactions.
Oh yeah, Danny is also really cool.
Danny is double DM on Twitter for those of you listening.
Wait, who do you think? What do
Danny?
Is Danny not double DM? Oh no, Danny Hurt. Sorry, I get that mixed up. Sometimes.
Yeah, Danny Hurt's one. I was gonna be like, double DM is Emil.
I feel
I mean, I have good interactions with him too, but like I can't remember everybody. So.
I feel like Allie's favorite person. I'm gonna take a hot guess. Even though Allie, you interact with literally every single person.
I do.
I want to say one of your favorite people is probably Amber, because you guys are like besties. And then
I know her code to her apartment and can go harass her cat whenever I want. So yes.
And then your other favorite person is Emil.
Is Emil?
Yeah. Because you talk about Emil all the time. You talk about Emil all the time.
I love Emil. I have a nice little circle of friends that for some reason people are calling a clique, even though cliques don't mean anything. It's just called having friends. So I do like have my own circle of friends who I really enjoy. A lot of them are actually in the Altered Echo Archives server that Brytton just popped into, because Brytton and I are going to be in a game together as two player characters and not me as Brytton's GM, so that's gonna be chaotic.
Oh, and then the cast that we're like, yeah.
I love how magical girl Kevin, that was just like, guys, I can't be the voice of reason here, and we're just like, we're not asking you to be like.
Who else is gonna be there other than you two?
It's going to be me, Brytton, Kev, the magical girl Kev on Twitter, and Ina Coffin.
Ooh, Ina's gonna be there? That's gonna be chaotic.
It's gonna be fun.
The thing is, I'm a very lenient DM. I just need you guys to like actually be like, hey, Allie, what's in this room? Or ask me fucking questions. Because I'd say you're in a room and you just like don't ask me any questions about said room. And then you're less like, Allie, I can't do anything here. There's nothing here for me to use.
I'm just gonna grab a chair.
That way. Listen, when I'm playing Remy, I always ask about like, are there pipes? Like I always ask those questions. But now that I know actually how to use my shape-shifting, like a non-dingus,
I like it when I have to like push you to something. I was just like, what's another power you have? And you're like, oh, but I can't.
I think it's just like being a waterbender, yo.
I was like, there you go.
I'm actually kind of upset that our last recording was a re-record because I wanted to use my new power, but
technically I think our last recording was with Kev, but yeah, the one before that it was a
re-record because of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know the situation, you're not a part of the fam.
I would say if you don't know the situation, that's for the better. So just anybody listening, unless you're on Twitter regularly, just don't worry about it.
If you want to know, just at Brosif.
It's gonna be some random person.
You know what? I'm going to buy that Twitter handle. No one's allowed to have that Twitter handle.
You can't buy a Twitter handle.
Watch me. Watch me. I'm going to come up with another shadow account. Also, in case y'all don't know, that's the kind of sneaky I am. When people block me for shit because I call them out on bullshit, or my friends call them out on bullshit, and I jump on the bandwagon of like, yeah, this is bullshit, I have a shadow account so that I can still follow you and I can still see your shit. So I'm going to come up with another shadow.
I just
have a shadow account.
Look.
This is how Elena has like 10 shadow accounts.
I only have the one, but the one person did make it only so that people who follow them are allowed to see their tweets. And that happened immediately after I reported something that they said. It happened immediately after I reported something they said. Telling you this, Allie, I was in the middle of reporting those tweets, and then immediately after I reported it, boom, went to private.
Jesus.
Because I was refreshing to see if I could find any more tweets, and then immediately went private after I reported that tweet I was telling you about that I was reporting. Because I don't want triggering things in my Twitter space. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fair. Except here I am, like, I see what's trending, and I'm like, oh, Kyle Rittenhouse is trending. Let's see why.
No.
I grew up in a very political family, so, like, that kind of shit I'm always interested in, unfortunately. Like, my parents are constantly watching the news, and I go down there and I'm like, how can you watch this? This is ridiculous. And then I go on Twitter and I'm like, let's see what Kyle Rittenhouse is up to.
Yeah, because that's how you find out
a murderer, by the way, if anybody listening hears this.
So Kyle, because your arc is next with Oswald.
Yes.
What are you kind of expecting? What do you want to happen? What do you feel like the vibe is going to be? And don't say it's up to you, because then I can come to Seattle and step on your throat.
Be careful, I might like that.
Let's all discuss. Let's all say.
Is that a threat or a promise?
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Let's all say something which we hope will happen in Kyle's arc. Kyle, obviously, you have to go first.
Well, I mean, obviously the thing with my uncle to play out, because to be honest with you, when I was setting up, this is little behind the scenes stuff for you listeners, but when I was setting up Oswald's backstory, I sent Allie, like, I don't know how many, but I think it was like a two-page thing or something like that.
Yeah, it was a 2-page thing, and the email said, "Here you go, bitch." And that,
because, I'm professional. But when I was writing that, I didn't even once think about Oswald's uncle. Maybe I put something in there like he's just not in the picture, but I didn't even think about him at all. So it was kind of like, I'm very interested to see how this goes.
I did ask you about him one time when we were in the car, because I was like, hey, I noticed you didn't like note this at all in your backstory, and you were just like, oh yeah, I did, and that was sort of the conversation. I was just like, oh good, it's open-ended.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know, I felt like it was more important that I focused on the aunt and then not the uncle. So, but now that he's like starting to show his face, I'm like, that's actually kind of cool. I want to see how this goes. So right. I think that's the biggest thing for me.
I'm excited to see Kyle remember his new power.
It might take a few episodes, but we'll get there.
And how to use it.
I actually forgot how to use it already, but I'll get there.
Exactly.
I'll remember. It's been 3 weeks. Leave me alone.
He's already forgotten how to use his new power. This is why I'm excited.
It's not even that hard of a power to use.
No, it's not. I just have a shit memory.
Meanwhile, Brytton's just like, can I just roll once really nicely so I can get my power? Please.
Pretty much. I want to make somebody shit themselves to death, okay?
I mean, I've been also casually rolling to see if I get my power, and I've just been rolling like shite.
Like, I know for a fact that I can make someone shit themselves with my power.
Go shit yourself.
No, I would have to. I think I would have to word it like, boy, it'd be a real shame if your colon just stopped working, huh?
No, you need to like say like, man, wouldn't that really suck if your sphincter stopped working the way you wanted it to?
In all of my notes for you to get your power, Kyle, all of them, and every one of them that has the ways for you guys to get your powers, I'm just like, you can either do this or roll a this. And my response to yours was, Kyle needs to make a really stupidly sarcastic insult in some way to be like, it'd be really nice if you just fell off this roof right now or something like that. Like, that's all I was waiting for, because that's such a you thing to just fucking do.
Allie texted me like, you need to get Kyle to say this. And I was like, kept thinking of like, okay, and I kept saying like, oh, maybe you should just like jump off the roof, because I thought that's what she was asking me to do. And she was like, Elena, you had one job.
Yeah, I DM'd Elena. I was just like, I'm going to need you to make Kyle say something sarcastic, like, wow, it would be really unfortunate if the enemy fell off the roof, like something like that. And she was just like, Kyle, jump off the
roof. I did not understand the assignment. I think one thing that I'm really want to see when we get into Kyle's arc, I would love to have Allie make us cry by having him have like a reunion with his parents. And because that's one thing, unfortunately, I think James was afraid of doing.
So here's the thing.
I really want my heart to be wrecked.
I don't think that's going to happen until the very end of Dice Drop.
I know, but like you know what I mean? Like, I just want like I want something.
I think something like that might happen, but it's not going to be like they're actually here. Okay. And the only reason is because James physically, unfortunately, said out loud, Peter needs to be gone for your parents to come back. And
I do not remember that, but I believe you.
My memory is as close to a photographic memory as an ADHD brain can get.
Yeah. I think I just want, like, I want to feel emotional, because I think the last time
I made you cry, you literally had to step away for 15 minutes, and it was because the character that you played for 4 episodes you got too attached to.
Yeah, but like I think the last time where I think I actually like really cried because of something that happened. I mean, other than like being angry over something that happened, because Remy, like, I feel Remy's anger, but I don't think Remy's like actually cried since we thought Hood died, or not Hood, Rodney died. Like we actually had to stop for like a hot second so that I could get myself back up together, because I was crying. I was like, you son of a bitch. But like James was also like, not, because for me, good storytelling means that like, yeah, there's a chance that you could die at any moment. And like, he never let it get to that point. Like, there are times where we were like close, like when I got like hit in the head all those times and I got like shot twice. And then there were all those times where Allie got shot a whole bunch of times. And then that
time where Kyle got shot in the dick.
And that Kyle got shot in the dick. But like, it never felt like it was like, your character's down. And I think that's why I kind of like D&D more, because there is like that hit point system. And I mean, yeah, we have injuries and stuff, but to me, like, I don't think we've ever gotten to a point to where we were so injured that where it was like, no, you're down. You can't do anything.
To be fair, Kyle would have been down in that re-record. Like, he would have been at like death, because he rolled a 1 on a toughness check, and that should have technically killed him. But because it was a re-record and they couldn't
nicely pointed out that you couldn't kill Kyle.
I would have died at least like 4 times in that re-record.
No, here's the thing. I would have I would have killed Kyle, and then suddenly he would have popped back up, and I would have said nothing about it.
But the
That'd have
thing
been
is,
fucking hilarious, actually.
good storytelling. I think this is why I love like high fantasy bullshit all the time when I'm like reading books and stuff, because like
I think I give you guys more incentive of like, hey, you actually like. I made Oswald lose his fucking hand, so I feel like I at least try.
That's what I love with your storytelling, Allie. This is what I'm. The next thing I'm going to segue into. Let's all talk about the things that we love about Allie's DMing now.
Yay.
But for
just
me right now, it is
because Allie could definitely use the ego boost.
It is the fact that you are not afraid to be like, no, like this fucking happens. Like you got your arm bit off, like you got your hand bit off, kid, like or chopped off. Like you are the kind of person where it's like, yes, you need to make those risks in storytelling so that it does feel like we are going to be like. You can't be like, oh yes, the heroes never had any kind of boo-boos in their lives.
So there was an option where Kyle wouldn't have lost anything, but Kyle decided to go the yeet or find out route, and he chose yeet.
Yeah, like there has to be those risks when it comes to you being like the main character, like the characters have to have those risks. If it's always going to be like, and then they came out the other side unscathed, they only had a paper cut upon their pinky to prove that they actually fought something. Like, no, I want to be in the spot where it's like we almost fucking died.
Yeah,
like
it's kind of like,
that's what I loved about the
now,
Let's Go Get River arc.
I will say, there is a bigger chance now that Astoria is gone, because I do see Peter as the bigger threat in the Dreamweavers. There's a bigger chance that you guys, even though you are now beefier, there's a chance you guys have more. You could die a lot easier right now, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Like, I want us to get to a spot, Allie, like it could even be like the final arc, like for all I care, when we are done with the evolution portion of the podcast. Like, I want there to be a certain point where Allie sits down with us and says, listen, this is the point of where you die, you ain't coming back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, like, because I told Allie the thing that I told James, I said, I want you to flip a coin, and if Remy dies, Remy dies. And I like those kind of stakes. You know, I think it makes it more intense.
There's probably 3 or 4 more arcs left. That's just me filling out the rest of the storyline. And it's coming to this is endgame territory. Like, if you are gone, you are gone. I am sort of going to make it so River isn't going to be around you guys, because River's kind of your scapegoat right now. If anything happens to you, River can basically put your soul back in your body.
I swear to God, if you kill off River, I'm going to be so upset with you.
I'm not going to kill off River because she's my child. I need her to have babies with Zach. So that's my only thing with River.
Okay. So
she already has the names picked out. It won't.
Okay. So maybe the final thing we talk about is Allie, what's her favorite thing about Allie? But the next question I think I have. Okay, go ahead, Kyle.
I think one of the things that we should talk about for sure towards the end is like what Allie likes about us as the players.
Ooh, yes.
There you go. That's a good one to unpack.
But one question I have is, this could be like, this is probably a silly question, but I feel like this would also be more towards the fans if they. Who is a character that you ship for your character? Like, obviously, like Oswald, if you weren't with Shade, who would you ship instead of Shade for Oswald? Like that kind of thing. Like, who is the person that you would let your character be endgame with?
So here's my thing. This is me just like spitballing because I'm the DM. I'm obviously just like pushing Michael towards Remy, and I don't care. I think it's shit. However, if it wasn't Remy, it would be Celeste, and I'm going to be honest.
Yes. Okay. So I have two different ones. And obviously, like me and Allie have like talked about like who Remy would end up with and whatever, and what makes her most happy. I have told Allie that I want the kind of person that Remy ends up with because there's been like obviously like multiple people that me as Elena was like, ooh, they're fucking hot. There's been Hood, there's been Barnabas, there's been like literally like I could list off all 10 digits of who I would want Remy to be with. But I have told Allie, I was like, I want Remy to be with someone who is going to like tell her like, no, this is not a like you like that's like why are you thinking like this? Like why are you thinking about yourself like this? Because Remy is the kind of person who has that false confidence and whatever, all that other kind of jazz, and like someone to tell her like, no, like your upbringing is not as nice as you thought it was. Like, what are you talking about? You were left alone for days on end and didn't see your parents for like a week. Like, what are you talking? Like things like that. Like she needs someone who is going to make her feel loved, who's going to make her feel safe, and like whoever that ends up being, cool. But I do have two people that I would think would be endgame for Remy. But I want to see what everyone else...
If one of them isn't Michael, then I'm leaving the chat.
I'm leaving the chat. That would be... Okay, so for the first one, like I said earlier, if Izzy somehow manages to come back, even though right now I'm loving this Artemis chick, she's... she's ever like... I think Izzy would be a really good one, because Izzy has always loved Remy. Like I think Izzy would be like we've never had Izzy come on ever.
So a peek behind the screen. Izzy, I'm going to be honest with you, and this is me.
Is Izzy dead? Is Izzy dead?
Izzy's not dead. She's in a bunker with her family, but Izzy's not coming back. Probably too traumatized with Eden to
don't blame her. Don't blame her, baby. Okay, well that's one, and then obviously the other one. It's been alluded to, but I'm going to admit right now, as the player, not as the character, Remy does have a slight crush on Michael.
Yes.
And I really, obviously, like, this would have to be something that me and Britt talk about.
Yeah.
But, like, I think Michael would be really good for Remy, because I think Michael would really ground her. And Michael, the way that
Michael and Remy actually have a very similar upbringing.
Yes. And I think the way that Britt plays Michael as like, even though like, yeah, he's like the big, strong, tough dude, like I'm going to protect everybody. Like that kind of attitude that he has, I think that kind of draws Remy in. And she was really hurt when she found out that Astoria was his mom. She was like, well, now I can't fucking like him. And he's still saying all these nice, sweet things to her. She's like, was all of this a lie? Was he trying to like at this point, because they've had people like say, like she's had people say things and then turn on her. And she's like, is he just saying things to like get close to us? Like, that's like what's going through her head right now, Michael.
What?
So now she does like,
she's like, I just got my mom arrested. What are you talking about?
I know, right? I just threw my mom in jail. Fuck off.
I know, but like she's like that kind of person now, because we've had so many instances where people either aren't giving us like the full thing or doing other things and blah blah blah, and she's like, I don't know who to trust anymore.
Well, to be fair, you should also kind of be mad at River, because River could have told you guys, but River is just like, I don't feel like opening that can of worms. So
it's not a fun can of worms to open.
Well, she hasn't gotten there yet, but
good.
But there will be a moment where if we weren't having our beach day episode right now. But yeah, that's That's who I think I would want Remy to be endgame with. As much as you've said, no, I made Artemis specifically to be endgame for you, girl.
I didn't. I made Artemis to make you sweat, and I did it.
It did. It made me sweat real good. Made me sweat. Whoever's next.
Made you sweat.
We all know that fucking Allie's endgame is Zach.
Yeah, I made it clear too, because James and I were talking, and James was just like, hey, I specifically made Zach for River. And I said, okay, I have no problem keeping that because I don't like the dynamic of Rodney and River. I feel like Rodney was actually super toxic to River, and though he kind of was what she needed, he always had the thing of, I have to fix her, not of, I want to lift her up. It was, I need to fix that. It wasn't out of like love and protection. It was, I can fix that. I like how that looks when it's fixed. And that's like where I was getting at. I feel like there's something that I do a lot in these games now that I'm actually GMing, and that is giving everybody a false sense of good relationships versus bad relationships, which you don't really see in games. So, like, usually when a player falls in love with an NPC, it's like, that's it, that's all of it. Like, they're going to get married, it's going to be beautiful, everybody's in love with that ship. But that's not how real life works. Like, sometimes people are just like, oh, you guys are so great and awesome together. What happened? And what happens is that person that was so great and awesome ends up being like toxic and not good for you. And I also felt that way with Hood, because like, sure,
oh my God,
Hood and Remy were supposed to be endgame. Like, that was supposed to be it. That was supposed to be the mutual pining that this like story needed. But Hood got really toxic. Hood was not good.
He really did. And I want to be quite honest, like, I told James, I was like, Remy and Hood are probably going to end up being endgame. I told him that, like, it was like the whole, like that superhero, like the Felicity and Hood, Felicity and Oliver Queen, endgame. Like, you knew, like, the smart chick who comes from this, you just know. Like, in my heart and soul, I felt that they were endgame, but Hood, like, the way that James played Hood made him very toxic. Unfortunately, like, if we had like someone else come in and someone else was playing Hood and played Hood differently, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like saying, like, if Britt ended up being that person of like, no, I want to play Hood. Hood is a character I love. Instead of coming up with his own character, I probably would have veered back towards Hood, because for a while I was like, I don't want Remy to have this. This is why I don't want Remy to talk with Hood. This is why I don't want Remy to be any kind of situation with this, because I don't want those shippers anymore. I don't want that anymore.
I saw where it was going. I saw how you were no longer comfortable with Hood. You were never saying, "Oh, I'm blushing right now over Hood," or like, "Oh, I'm like," you never showed interest. Instead, you like actively said, "I don't want this for Remy," which is why I said, "We're gonna end this. We're gonna stop it with the whole Hood thing. We're gonna stop with the whole Rodney thing," because I want to show people, hey, toxic relationships still happen. It's very much like oh, well, there's still issues with misogyny. There's still issues with people getting radicalized. There's still like people that are still like unequal, and I'm not okay with that. And I want to show it in my games to be like, this is real life. Like, this is actually what's happening. And some people are just like, keep your politics out of my games. It's just like, how?
Yeah.
All right. So let's do one more question, and then we will.
Who's next, though? Who's next? We didn't hear from Kyle or Britt.
I mean, Winston.
Dang it. I thought I was going to get away with this.
Yeah, right.
Here's the thing. I think Kyle has already picked Shade. I don't think Kyle
obviously,
I don't think Kyle has seen any other woman except for Shade when Shade was like endgame for him.
So then,
no, Oswald is very much like me in real life. Like if I'm with somebody, like I focus entirely on them. I do not think other people are attractive otherwise. But if Oswald was not dating Shade, Winston, hands down.
Winston, okay. I was about to say, who was yours? I was about to say, well, then who's your celebrity green card? Or your celebrity hall pass? Your celebrity hall pass, Winston.
Every single answer is Winston.
Yeah, I thought since the very beginning, Oswald and Shade were definitely endgame. Like, I love the fact that it happened so casually. Like, it wasn't like this great big buildup. It wasn't going to be this great big romance. Like, it was just like, hey, nice shoulder blades. And that was it.
I wonder though if James did it for like the memes, you know, because I said nice shoulder blades, but like he was like, oh yeah, cool, like that was a joke.
No,
so
but
let's just keep running that was
so good. That was
but
so
then Allie
good.
came in and was like, yeah, you two are like dating, and I'm like, oh cool.
Yeah.
I never actively said that. I just said that you guys act like you are. You never actually said.
Yeah, that's what I love, though. It is like the couple who became a couple, and they're just like, we don't know when our anniversary is. We just started being together. That's what I love.
Doing the things.
It's like that. It's like how you know how there will be like TV shows where like a couple gets together and then they just stay together throughout the entire show, regardless of how many seasons are.
And there's no drama. There's no
just like maybe there is drama, but they work through it. But still, it's like that's the kind of relationship that I like in terms of media. So like I'm like, yeah, let's just try and do that. So
yeah, I love it when they have relationships like that. Like right now for me, my comfort couple that I'm thinking of right now, where it's like there's almost no drama other than things that are happening on the outside of them, but nothing can ever like shake them, except for maybe like the really big things are Miranda Bailey and Ben Warren from Grey's Anatomy. Like that's a comfort. That's a comfort couple for me. Like I know that if something were to ever happen to them and they get divorced for some reason, like there were times where it was like they had like huge big things that happened between them, and it was because they weren't communicating, and that's why like they would like be quote unquote separated, but they always end up getting back together after they communicate and they talk about their feelings. And like if something ever were to happen to them, I think I would stop watching. I've been a fan for so long.
To catch up. I think I stopped watching at like season 12 or something.
Ooh, yeah, you really got to catch up. There's some shit that goes down.
Yeah.
There was a point where they almost did it.
You're the last one you need to say.
You got to do it for Scarlet, Britt.
This is now a Grey's Anatomy podcast.
Oh, gosh.
You got to do it for Scarlet, Britt.
I mean, I think... like, Remy's probably his endgame right now.
It's
confirmed. Right? It's weird, right?
It's confirmed!
It's weird, right? But, I mean, it's more interesting for him because he's never, like, actually really kind of liked somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It's always just been a fling here and there, and that's it.
Not me just casually blushing.
Yeah.
Reflect my character.
Elena, your Remy is showing.
No, it also is just the fact that like Brytton's hot, and it's just like
I'm not hot. I'm not.
I get to flirt with Britt in a consensual way.
First off, I'm not.
Everyone in this podcast is hot. It was part of the reason why you got put on.
Y'all are spicy. I am not.
On that tweet that I posted about the Q&A, I was like, question 1, why are you all so hot? I posted a GIF response of a dude in his suit saying, we can do anything we want.
Like, legit though. Like, it's...
But I mean, I feel like Michael could also be Mr. Steal Your Boy and go after Zach if he really wanted to.
Oh my god.
Honestly, do it. It will be a polyam relationship. I don't care.
Speaking of polyam, have you guys seen Legend of Korra?
Listen. I've been Legend of Korra, yeah.
Yeah, I'm 100% Korra, Asami, Mako, polyam, 100%.
Oh my god,
for sure.
yeah.
All right. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening.
Listen, we all just become one giant polycule at the end.
I mean, we could always just go grab the Avatar tabletop RPG.
I see.
Oh my god, yes. We still need to play that.
So let's do one more question, and then I will actually peek behind the curtain to what people have in store for after this actual.
I thought we were going to do. You explain why you like our characters.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. She doesn't actually like us.
Okay.
She doesn't actually like us.
But I am going to tell everybody what the next campaign is after this one, so they know kind of.
Is this the thing that you were kind of telling us about?
Yeah, where I was just like,
I'm excited for it.
Would you guys be down for this? And you said yes.
Yes,
right.
yes.
So
we got so excited it made you anxious.
Yeah. So it's what I like about your characters, yes?
Correct.
Yeah, about our characters or as us as people, because we also need confidence boost too, you know.
I could use the ego boost.
Okay.
How about both? Like you say like our character first and then us as a player. Or us as a person.
See, here's the thing. I see your players and your characters go hand in hand a lot of the time. So
okay, but if it just makes you more comfortable, you could say like our character names.
No, I have no problem calling you out.
If that makes you more comfortable.
I think for me, Allie's gonna say my organization skills because I am on top of everything.
Absolutely, Kyle. Love that.
Oh my god, yeah. Always the first person in the call.
Yeah.
All the time.
Reminding you that we have to record every Sunday. Duh.
Yeah. Always
every other Sunday. Every other Sunday.
Always calling us like, guys, you're not in the call yet. I've been in here for like 45 minutes.
I'm actually the DM.
It's gonna be fun when you decide to throw your thing out. I'm excited for that.
Allie's just my puppet.
I've been constantly, just as a little aside thing real quick, I've been constantly thinking about the Old Gods of Appalachia campaign, and I like call Allie every now and again, and I'm like, what if I did this? And she's like, it's not happening for a year. Shut up.
I am okay. I am looking up on my Appalachian lore, okay, because I love lore on things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, like,
I'm going to make this very fun.
I swear to Jesus, if there's no Mothman.
I will say I did have to call Kyle, and I was just like, I just need to make sure this idea that I have for this campaign isn't just Old Gods. And he was like, no, it's not. I was like, all right, cool. How awkward would that been?
I swear to God, if there's no Mothman, there's no Bigfoot, I'm not playing.
I know right now I'm doing, it's going to be a 7 Deadly Sins thing, and me and Allie have agreed that this is going to be like a short, like, 5 to 7 episode thing.
Probably like while Allie's getting ready for the next campaign.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be like an interlude. Allie gets a break. She can do whatever.
I'm bringing us back because I also have chores that I got to do today.
Bring us back.
Okay, so let's start with Elena.
Oh God, no! Don't start with me, please.
Yes, start with Elena, please. This is going to be fun.
It's the Comedy Central roast of Elena.
We're all about ready to get roasted.
My worst fears.
What I love about you, as a player and as Remy and as you, is when you fully want to role play and act something out, you have no problem fully going there. And you actually have one of my favorite scenes that you and I have ever done together, and that was when you were actually freaking out about Remy's father knowing what was going on with River and Hood. That was probably one of my favorite scenes we ever recorded together because you did not leave your character once.
Oh my God,
you were 100% Remy in that entire instance. When you do take notes, it's very helpful. I appreciate that. There are times where you don't take notes and we don't know what happened. And
I do take notes, but I only write down the things that my character knows.
No, you only write, you don't even write down what your character knows sometimes. You just sort of space out. But when you do take notes that are actually helpful, I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And all in all, you, like, at most have your shit kind of together when needed.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'm not going to say you have it together all the time because
no one. If someone has their shit together all the time, they're a fucking robot.
Yeah, right.
I mean, the reason we're doing the episode like this is because my shit hasn't been together for 2 weeks. So
that's fine. No one's here to
No, but that's
at
like
you.
valid though.
No one's here to at you on Maine.
I will.
Oh, you mean like sorry. Too soon? All right. Kyle. You've been my best friend for a very long time.
Hello.
I feel like this is rigged.
Just immediately rigged.
No, trust me. If there's any favoritism, it's not towards me.
That's right. It's towards Brit.
I was gonna say it's definitely towards Brytton. All right. So, Kyle, what I love is you're not afraid to fucking go there. You're just like, I'm just gonna be a chaotic mess and you can't stop me.
Yeah.
And that's valid because I can't and I won't. I love that you're just like, this is what you do almost actively in every session. And I know this because I edit every fucking episode. Hey, Kyle, can you roll this for me? Everyone roll this for me. Everybody rolls. Kyle, what did you get? Oh, was I supposed to roll something? Every time, at least once. Kyle, where were you? I don't know. You
I
left.
was in my mind. It's a
You
lot
just
to get me out of my head.
And like, here's the thing: you actively like you say, "Yes, I understand the assignment," and then don't do it.
It's mostly most of the time it's because I didn't hear you, and then I'm or like I didn't understand, and then I'm like too embarrassed to admit that I didn't understand or didn't hear you, and I'm like, yeah, okay, totally understand what you want me to do, and then I'm just having like a mild panic attack.
Just roll the dice.
Don't be afraid to just be like, Allie, I didn't hear you, or my brain was in fucking Mount Rushmore. I'm gonna need you to tell me what you just said.
Fair enough.
My brain was in a volcano and I was just watching fire. Can you tell me what you just said?
Watching fire is so fun, though.
I know.
It is. It is.
How to tell we all have ADHD.
Listen.
There was
Stick 'em in front of the fire.
Really quick, one more quick aside. There was a TikTok I saw where these people were at a Korean barbecue, and the one recording was like panning to the different guys that were there, and they were all just staring so intently at the fire in the middle of the table. And they were like, I've never seen them so focused before. This is ADHD. Like, if you put me in front of a fire, I won't say a word. I will just stare at that fire until my redness burns.
Yeah, that is a mood though.
Anyway.
So yeah, you are very good when you're the most good at not taking notes. Like you actively have no idea what's going on any of the time, but you know what? You're still here for it, and I appreciate that.
Actively tries not to take notes.
I'm the dumb blonde.
You honestly, what Elena just said is true. You actively just avoid taking notes. You're just like, I could be writing stuff down and like helping myself here, but that's fine.
Mind you, she is talking about her favorite things about you as a person. So her favorite thing about you as a person is you don't pay attention to shit.
No,
it makes my life so much more interesting, though. I'm going to be honest.
The role play,
it's been,
though.
Like, what, 11 years now since we've known each other, and like I don't think I've paid attention to almost anything that you say.
Listen, you remember my birthday, and that's really all I can ask for.
Yeah, you're the only person whose birthday I actively remember.
Okay, listen though, but my favorite thing is every single time when Kyle's like, okay, can you tell me again? Almost always he's like, I'm so sorry, can you repeat that? Like every single time he's like, yeah, I wasn't really paying attention. Like most people are always like, can you please repeat that? Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to you, dude. I dissociated for like the past 30 minutes.
It's either I dissociated or like I started doom scrolling on Instagram.
That's my problem. It's just the random dissociation. If I sit for too long, I dissociate.
Yeah.
All right. So, and now that I'm done roasting Kyle,
And the favorite
Oh, I'm
for
ready.
last. The favorite for last.
Brytton, I'm so happy that you put in your application for Dice Drop because I couldn't handle these Chaos Demons for another season alone. You are truly the paladin that keeps this place grounded when it needs to be. However, you are just as chaotic as these actual assholes.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll accept.
I love that you will pull shit out of nowhere, to which my response every time is, this is funny, I'm gonna let it happen, but you have to tell me where the fuck you got it. So yeah, I love how we incorporated Michael. I love how you were so willing to not only work with me on how we were going to put Michael in, but how we are going to fit him into the story and have him actively be a part of this team. Well, you have no issues putting either like, I can see Michael like struggling, like, all right, they're the professionals, I guess I'm gonna let them do what they want to do, but meanwhile in your head you're just like, guys,
these guys
we need to look in that fucking room. What are we doing?
These guys aren't fucking professionals. They're idiots.
We've saved the world how many times, and we still don't even know, like, hey, you should probably look in that room. There's like something important
actively, you were just like, you guys are the professionals at the beginning of this, only for you to realize these motherfuckers have no idea what the fuck is going on, and I don't know how they have saved this world so many times.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Like, you play it so well, and Michael, like, who's supposed to be like this big buff, like, very obviously, like, made very similarly to your image. I think you realized how all the other characters were made here, and it's very similar to our image and how we act, so you kind of followed that, which I love. I love how you created Michael, and I love that you were like, the episode where you fully started coming out of your shell and you were just like, I can be just as chaotic as these motherfuckers. I was just like, oh no, I am now in love with Michael and I would die for this character.
Yeah, that was like, just as a little thing, like, that was like the episode where you did like start getting comfortable with everything and like start coming out of your shell. I was like so happy for that too.
Mm-hmm.
I got on the phone with Kyle, I think, like, maybe 4 or 5 hours after that session. I was just like, did you fucking see Brytton? Brytton just, like, did that shit. I was like, holy shit, I love this. This is great. Yeah, so I will never stop thanking you for putting in that application. I am so happy to have met you, and I'm so happy that you're a part of this family now. And thank you for kind of reining in the chaos train while also being actively a part of the chaos train. Keep doing that. And yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about everybody. I'll say I am happier. I think a part of me is happier that I became the game goddess for Dice Drop, and it's not because, like, oh yeah, because I can write so much of a better story than James. It's because I'm a control freak, and I had active.
I was literally about to say you're a control freak.
I had active story plans for River and story plots for River that I wanted to play out, and it wasn't going to happen the way I wanted it to with James. And so though the way James left was an absolute fucking nightmare, I do have to thank him for having me forcibly pushed out of my shell to become the GM over here. And I'm happy that we kept going on, and I'm happy that we actually kind of have some sponsors now. And I'm happy that we're the biggest Mutants and Masterminds actual play podcast, and it wouldn't have happened without you. So thank you.
I also want to do like a quick thing, like, thank you, Green Ronin, for like being really cool about us recording.
Yeah, seriously.
And things like that. So The
Yeah.
Green Ronin, for those who don't know, who are listening, are the ones who make mutants and masterminds. So,
Because
like,
they easily could have told us to fuck off. So
yeah, like they're
for
really
sure.
cool about it. They're glad that we're recording and everything. So
because it's bringing people, like, obviously, like, D&D is like a huge thing, but it's like shining a light on other tabletop games that are just as fun as D&D. Like, clearly we have a lot of fun.
There's so many games out there, it's ridiculous. It's like every single week I look, there's a new one coming out, and I'm like, what the
seriously.
fuck?
So now that we're done, kind of like I'm done like fluffing you guys all up and telling you guys how amazing you are, even while actively roasting Kyle.
Now you're gonna tell us every single thing you hate about us.
No.
I'm ready.
I'm going to kind of
she would
move
just say that she
into.
likes me as a person.
We're just friends. We're gonna get married, but we're friends.
What is that movie called? That one where they say, fuck it, after this many years, we're just going to get married if we're still single?
I mean, yeah. That's
Kyle and I are going to get married for tax purposes.
Exactly.
Economic partnership.
Honestly, so rewarding.
So, I kind of mentioned this a little bit, but after Dice Drop Evolution, just like the evolution part of Dice Drop is done.
Sorry, Scarlett. It had to end sometime.
Yeah, the storyline, not the podcast, just the storyline. I'm going to be obviously making a new storyline. That's kind of already started in my brain. It's not written down on any paper yet, but it's going to be called Dice Drop Fallen. And it's going to be a Monsters of the Week campaign, which Monsters of the Week is fun, but also it's
so much fun.
It's known for sort of shorter campaigns. So I found sort of a storyline and sort of a way to make it a little bit more drawn out and a little bit more story focused. So what the actual campaign is going to entail is all of the players are going to start out as gods. I told them they can homebrew a god. I told them they can make one from actual pantheons that happen right now. They can do whatever they feel is correct for them. And I'm actively would be more than okay with working with them on anything. The Zeus, quote unquote, the main head of the gods, is basically going to say, you guys have gotten too lazy and I don't like this, and is going to actively kick them out of whatever realm they're in into the mortal realm, where they have now become fallen gods, and some of them still have godly powers and some of them are just good at fighting. Depends on the players. It's going to be a modern fantasy sort of deal, so there's still going to be like witches around, there's still going to be like fairies, there's still going to be like little goblins and gremlins, but there's a lot more humans than there would be in just like normal high fantasy. So that's kind of the plan the entire time, is to strive and do more things to get back their powers as gods. And there are, I believe they're called sanity points in Monster of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime you add sanity points, like you gain them, you're closer to becoming your god self again. When you lose them, you're closer to becoming immortal. And that could flip-flop from session to session. And that's sort of what we're planning for the next sort of thing going on with Dice Drop. And
that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I hope you guys are excited.
I'm so excited.
Obviously, we're not going to be working on characters for a bit, but if you guys have any questions or anything, you guys can DM me. But that's sort of the next plans for Dice Drop. It's going to be, instead of Evolution, it's going to be Fallen. And yeah, so I think this is where we're going to end it. I hope everybody's excited for that little sneak peek. That probably won't happen for a while, but I wanted you guys to know about it.
It's
You
a
guys
lie.
have
We're
any-
starting it next week.
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys have any closing words or?
Yes, I would like to once again say I love you to all my Simps out there. Scarlet,
All of
Were you
yours.
like,
Evie,
All of you mean like all of ours, all of your Simps?
all of my Simps, just my
Well, all the people
Simps.
you
My
used
Sims.
before.
Okay, but you can use your time to talk about your Simps. I would like to
I just feel like we're all one big podcast, right?
No,
So,
we
like-
are. We all just have different Simps for us, but I would like to thank my Simps in particular because you're the only reason why I get up in the morning.
Oh my gosh. She gets
I
up
don't
for the
know.
attention. That's it. Jesus,
Yeah,
that's the
right.
only fucking. That's not a brat move at all.
When we
Considering
started
I'm not
this,
even considered a brat,
I
but
know.
like it's just the best joke on myself because I hate myself.
when we started this, Elena was like, "Oh yeah, podcast. That sounds fun." But like behind the scenes, was like, "I want all the attention."
None of you are allowed to have lives. Only I am. Only I am allowed to have fan mail.
I think for me, I just like. I again want to thank Green Ronin for being really cool about us
Mhm.
doing this.
Yeah.
I guess like all of the people that have guested on our podcast too, like taking the time to do that. You can hear the crows in the background agreeing with me.
Mm-hmm. Those are your
Hey,
Sims.
homies.
the crows are my sips. And then like
Quoted.
I don't know, just our fans in general, both people who listen and people who don't, just like our followers on
Mhm.
Twitter, because it makes it like it's a fun space. It's more or less a chill space most of the time, and we have fun. So
Yeah.
Okay, I
good?
guess that's me next.
yeah,
You don't have to if you don't want to.
No, I will. So I mean, I'm on the same boat, piggybacking off of the other two. I want to thank everybody for just listening to the podcast. Like, I know that I started off as a fan first before I even got on here, so it's really fun for me to be able to reach out to other fans and stuff and talk to them. And yeah, all of the
Brytton is
guests.
proof that you can live the dream.
Brytton is proof that
Ah.
can live the dream. Also, Brytton was just like, oh, thank God I'm playing with Allie and not Jay.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, I'll do it, but fuck that.
Then you heard, oh, Allie's taking over, and you're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
my
much.
time to shine, bitches.
Pretty much how it went.
this is why I think we'd be good at a talk show podcast. Just putting that out there.
Do any of
Listen,
us have
I
the
mean-
time?
Okay, listen,
You will.
Allie is running like 5 different podcasts right now.
You're not wrong.
That's
Come on.
because Allie is like the type of person who can literally never stop.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
think me and Allie are the busiest here. I got 3 podcasts or 3 other ones that I'm with.
Yeah, I do
Excuse
this podcast.
me?
I do.
I
You're
know,
cheating on
right?
us.
I
I
Y'all
do.
should know this by now that I'm fucking doing things.
Yeah, I know Brytton does everything.
dare
Brytton's
you.
like a part of 2 stream teams.
How dare?
I know y'all miss me playing Kermit the Frog as a fucking Viking.
I love that for you, actually. Keep
Okay.
going. Tell us about that. That sounds more interesting than our campaign.
This is the time for me and Kyle to announce that we're starting our own
We're starting our podcast called the Fuck Everybody But Us podcast.
we go
You
on
guys need branding. I'm not cheap.
we already have our own branding manager. Thank you very much. It's called
It's
Kyle's.
just gonna be like some like 2-year-old that's just drawing our logos.
It's either going to be Kyle's ass as our branding manager because that's or it's just gonna, his nephew.
Episode 1. Who were we telling to fuck off today?
Yeah, I'm now a branding manager for Altered Echo Archives. I do the podcast Thirst Things Thirst with Amber the Space Jammer and Chrissy in Color, which is just a horny book club podcast for reading.
As I just read Space Raptor.
Oh yeah, I guess we should. Okay, so like to be serious, let's all talk about what we can promote for ourselves. So. Allie
I'm also a graphic designer.
Yes. And then Britt, apparently you're on other podcasts.
Yeah, I know. So I am part of this one, of course. I am a part of Rainbows and Razor Blades, a D&D stream game.
Which I also did the branding for.
Yeah, exactly.
Allie's just a brand manager for the TTRPG space. Like, that's it.
I'll tell you if your branding sucks.
She is the woman to go
to. And then I just got done doing a thing for Icons, another superhero tabletop RPG.
So one wasn't good enough for you?
Oh my god.
I know, right? Y'all I said that I was a fucking like superhero nerd when I first got on.
Cheating on us. Dear God.
It's Icon. I
just want to say I'm actively surprised that Brytton's lasted this long because he knows I am not playing this game correctly. That's just good sport behavior.
I'm not gonna fucking correct anybody's fucking DMing style. That's stupid.
I would like to make a complaint to HR about Brit.
You can,
but it's slide down from my chair that I'm sitting in. That's literally 1 foot off the ground because it's my niece's chair.
It's really funny. Yeah, I can redirect you to HR. Sends me over to Brit.
I am the wrong person to send to HR or to have HR for.
Allie, I would like to talk to HR. Allie turns around. Hi, how can I help you?
Would I be more likely to be our HR person out of anybody? Should I just make a complaint to myself?
I feel like you could argue with yourself for a while.
I do this on the daily.
Allie, I'd like to
we
make
all
a
have
complaint.
Multiple personalities,
Allie
right?
She does like a full circle and she goes, hi.
I would like to promote that I am a character on Dice Drop Evolution. And
what? Wild. That's kind of a character too.
I'm also a teacher, so that means I have no fucking life.
You're busy every day.
I'm busy all the fucking time. If you would like me on anything, what's up? I need to put myself out there more. And also, Allie has an OnlyFans now, so
Allie does have an OnlyFans.
I don't even have anything to promote. I'm a student. That's it.
Kyle, you should just be like me and just make shit up.
I'm on a podcast with Elena called the Fuck Everyone Podcast, where we just tell people to fuck off on a regular basis.
They gotta pay you. That's what you guys do. Start an OnlyFans, and then like literally have them pay you to tell somebody to go fuck off.
It's like a different form of doming. Like
Kyle has this weird cameo where people pay him so he can be like fuck off.
Weirdly enough, our fuck it streams are every single time when Allie or Britt go on a stream.
Nah, but seriously though, I'm a student. I don't have anything going for me except I'm working through college.
Proud of you though.
Almost done. I'm almost done. We're getting there.
Proud of you.
But
we need to have a big celebration.
Right. Similar to what Elena said though, if anybody wants me on anything, I'm pretty much open. I'd mostly take online classes, so
yeah, I just got to do shit on the weekends.
Yep.
Unless it's in the summer, then
I do think we should start that podcast as a joke, though.
Oh my god, yeah, wouldn't that be hysterical?
Allie, can we borrow the Zencaster? No!
No, we have Zencaster at home. Zencaster at home opens up Skype.
Yes, please use Skype to record. It's glorious.
Yeah,
everybody loves it, I hear.
And it's funny because it'll sound like a really shitty podcast, too. So.
we are coming to you live from
Hold on, wait.
Mom's
Lagging.
basement.
Except it'll be more like.
Oh my god! Can we please make this like a joke podcast on like the weeks where like Allie can't like come out with like an episode or something? Can we please feel like this is episode 1 of the Fuck It podcast?
Where we just talk about random shit.
Where we talk about random shit for an
All
hour.
right, I'm closing us out now. Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
Bye, listeners.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.